Welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean, and helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's that time again, time for your monthly Tarotscope readings for your North Node by sign and house for October 2022. Now, the reason I use the North Node as opposed to your sun, moon, or ascendant sign is that it's recognized in astrology that the North Node is your North Star. It's your soul path. It's what you were here to learn and accomplish and master. So it's much more relevant in readings to your everyday life. I'm going to connect to the energies in a moment, and I want to invite you to close your eyes, take some deep breaths, relax into your reading, and open up your energy field to receive any information that's going to be most relevant to your life. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, North Node in Cancer or North Node in the 4th house. This is your October 2022 Tarotscope reading. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table represents the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th, and then this side represents the second half of the month from the 16th on. So your overall theme card that I got this month is the 10 of Pentacles. And what hit me when I saw this right away intuitively is there's a few themes that are going to be weaving themselves in and out throughout this month of October 2022. One of them is family tradition, family togetherness, strength in family, and particularly family property, money, resources that have to do with family. And now that could be your immediate family in your household, and also extended family is going to play big time into this month. So all of those themes, but again, so family and family physical property and finances together. Now, the first half of the month, your timeline cards are, you have the Hierophant, you've got the Moon reversed, and you've also got the 9 of Wands. And what I'm seeing in particular for the first 2 weeks, is there is going to be something regarding you and your family, and like traditions, things that have been done for a while, and things that have been done a certain way. And something is going to come to light, but in particular with this 9 of Wands, there's going to be some pattern recognition for these first 2 weeks. And what I mean by that is others around you, and also in yourself, you are going to start to recognize ongoing recurring patterns in your life. And it's important to recognize that. The reason is that because when we recognize patterns, we can separate the ones that, okay, I've done this a couple times before this way and it really hasn't worked, or I've done this a couple times and it has worked. So pattern recognition is huge. And I feel like with this moon reversed, there's going to be these things coming to light. And it has to do with for family and family, relationships, And the patterns could be everything from like maybe you're recognizing a negative pattern in yourself, or a positive pattern, or it could be a negative pattern in someone around you that has to do with family. Now, an interesting thing too is on your 2 advice cards, you've got the Strength reversed and you've got Queen of Swords reversed. And I want to also jump over to the other side of the month here, the second 2 weeks, because you also have the King of Swords reversed on this side, and along with the Ace of Cups. And what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing that there is a need for you this first 2 weeks to allow yourself to be vulnerable, allow yourself to be emotionally vulnerable. And it's almost like it's like time to kind of like maybe let down your guard, because the overall thing here, and this is big time for your North Node, is strength in family and the home is going to bring you the most ultimate long-term success. And that might seem strange because, with if you have a South Node in Capricorn or the 10th house, there could be a desire of like, furthering career. Like, I'm going to gain my happiness and my safety and security with, furthering my education, furthering my career, which are all good things, but they cannot come at the expense of the family around you. Okay. Now, even if you don't have a blood family around you, I also include people very close to you, like friends that are like family, or people that live with you that are like family. So it's not just blood family. A family is much more than just the DNA that you share. Okay. So when I'm talking about family, I'm talking about in the broad sense, people that love you and that you love. Okay. Now, the pattern recognition is interesting because I feel like there's going to be a situation to where you're going to, something in this first 2 weeks, and it could be more than one thing, can occur, and you might at first react to it in an old pattern. And I'm seeing that it's really important, or another person, like I said, that's close to you in this family setting could react to it in an old pattern. It's for these old patterns, and it's important for you to recognize that, because then you can kind of work around it. But what's going to really help you is allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Now, what does that mean? And I mean, that's like a phrase that could, mean a lot of different things. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you have a situation to where you really need to talk to someone close to you about something, but you are very uncomfortable doing it because, maybe you have to say some things very personal to you, and about you and about your situation, or, the other person, you have to talk to. It's a very maybe touchy situation. And what this is that allow yourself to be gentle, allow yourself to be uh, vulnerable. And that's what the Strength card reverse here is telling me. And because it might seem counterintuitive, because, a lot of you that have this North Node with your South Node in Capricorn or the 10th house, a lot of you have a natural toughness, natural resilience. And that is all well and good. That's like your superpower. Like if you've got this South Node in Capricorn, a lot of you are a lot even tougher than other people think, and maybe even tougher than you think. But I think most of you know how resilient and tough you are. And tough doesn't mean like you're outwardly like rough and tough. You could actually be very like gentle on the outside, or you could be rough and tough on the outside. But the bottom line is that you have that as a superpower. Okay. But in these first 2 weeks, that Capricorn toughness is not going to help you. That Capricorn resolve is not going to help you. What's going to help you is strengthen family and allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And just real quick, another thing could be like, maybe you in a bind where, you could really use some money or some help financially. And so maybe, and you're reluctant to ask someone close to you or a family member because you feel, you feel uncomfortable. You don't want to, and that's that vulnerability. Because when we ask for something from someone, we become vulnerable. We're like, hey, can you do this for me? And it's like, it's difficult for a lot of people to do that. So for each of you, it's going to be different, but just remember those two key points that, you won't go wrong. Strengthen family, whatever's going to happen these first 2 weeks, these situations, allow yourself to be vulnerable, keep open-hearted, and try not to go back into past patterns of Capricorn toughness and resilience, and go heart first instead of like head first. Okay. Now, the second half of the month, your timeline cards are the King of Swords reversed, the Ace of Cups, and you've got the Emperor reversed. Okay. Here, what I'm seeing in particular is there could be someone, and also this does apply for the first 2 weeks too. The reason is the reason that there's a linking of both is because you've got the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Swords here, and then you've got the Emperor reversed, and you've got the Hierophant. So I'm seeing some correlation between the first half and the second half of the month. But what I'm seeing is that there could be a situation that comes up that is relating to a father figure, a parental figure. So maybe not necessarily a father, but someone maybe who is very important, or an authority figure in the family. And it could be not only your father or father figure, but it could be like, for example, if you are married or in a relationship, that would be like a father figure to, especially if you have children, so someone like that, and not necessarily male per se, but there's a situation that is going to require you to be open emotionally, and it's going to require a lot of love, and it's going to require also maybe seeing the higher wisdom in the situation, and I think there's a huge opportunity to do that. You've got the Hermit card for one of your advice cards, and you've got Death reversed. And remember, the Death card is not negative. The death means transformation. So I'm seeing a lot of things that are transforming in your life, and the wisdom of the Hermit, it's almost like you're going to start seeing the wisdom of moving through life heart first and making family important. Now, the interesting thing is, many of you who are watching this might not have had a father figure or a strong parental figures, at all. Some of you, so there could be like lacking in that area. And the interesting thing is that when you have a south node in Capricorn like you do, or the 10th house, you are naturally a parent, because the planet Saturn and the sign of Capricorn rules the parent, okay? And the child, the inner child, and the child is ruled by your north node, which is Cancer, or the 4th house. So a lot of you are natural authority figures, and you're natural parental figures. And so if you've had a situation to where, you maybe didn't have the parenting that you wish you had, or whatever, this is a time, like I said, for you to, and I've said this before with this North Node, to become the family member, to become the parental figure that maybe you lacked, okay? And just remember, the more that you invest, think of when you invest in those close to you, those who are your family, okay, when you invest in that, it's going to pay off big time in this lifetime for you. Better for you to invest in family than actually a career. Now, I'm not saying career is not important. What I'm saying is, if you had to choose, but when you ever have to make choices between family or career for you in this lifetime, and I realize situations come up, okay, with your career, but when you have the ability to choose family over career in certain situations, always choose family, because that's where your success and your most, happiness and your best timeline is going to come from, okay, in this lifetime. And as I said, it's not going to feel natural. It's going to make you feel vulnerable, and you're going to feel it's almost like counterintuitive. But believe me, with this North Node, it's like super, super important. So yeah, whatever these situations are, just remember those key points, because it's about pattern recognition. It's about investing in family and those that are like family around you in closeness, and being able to like let down your guard and become vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable, is like super important. Because you will feel supported. And the funny thing is that when you do this, when you actually put family first, when we follow our North Node, this is for you in particular with this North Node. When we do that, when we follow our North Node, we actually get everything that we desire from our South Node along with that. Okay. So you can, if you invest in family first, it actually in the long run will actually strengthen your career. It's just the way the North Node works, okay? So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like a personal reading, there's going to be a link in the description box below, and we can give you some more information on that. And yeah, again, thank you. If you hit that like button, would be much appreciated. And reach out to me in the comments. Just say, hey, what's up? If you have a question, love to interact with you. I always try to read all of them, and usually do. So thanks again, and we'll see you on some more videos. Many blessings.